everyone, welcome to Redefine and I'm Divya. Today I have on my show Vijeta Singh. She is an engineering student turned NIFT grad who has actually worked with the likes of Myntra and Irwin brands before giving it all up after 10 years to become a Zumba instructor. She's now a certified trainer working with the likes of Cult Fit and other fitness centers all over Bangalore. She's worked with some of the biggest names in the Zumba industry and is living her life to the fullest by following her passions. So please welcome Vijeta Singh. Vijeta, thank you so much for coming on Redefine and sharing your story.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your growing up years and your background and how you've come to be in Bangalore.
I have grown up in a typical middle class family where education comes first, and I've done my schooling from Gujarat, part of it from Bombay, and then I got into engineering because that is what all of us have been taught.
Yes, engineer or doctor.
Either become an engineer or a doctor. So I thought that okay, fine, let me try giving an entrance exam, and I got through engineering. But I realized that engineering wasn't my cup of tea. And it so happened that I actually quit my engineering in my first semester itself because I immediately knew that this is not something that I'm going to pursue, and I'm not happy doing it.
Yeah,
it was quite a bold move at an age of, I think, 18. Yeah, and then I got into NIFT.
From one bold move to another, that first it was rejecting engineering, doing what you wanted, which was fashion design at NIFT, and then you worked for 10 years in a regular corporate job. What prompted you to shift from that corporate life to Zumba?
So I'll tell you something. I wouldn't say that fashion was my first love. No, that's not true. Fitness has always been my first love. As a kid, I was always super active in sports. I used to play badminton. Though I wanted to, continue in my badminton because I was really good at it. But then somewhere it was like, no, I have to eventually get into a job. I have to have a steady future.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Understand at that point of time, this I'm talking like, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
At that point of time, like, fitness was not considered a stable profession.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So, pursuing fitness was out of question.
Correct.
Yeah. And then engineering and medical was definitely, I was fretting, So I was like, okay, fine. What is the alternative? What's the next best thing that I'm good at?
Yeah.
In which I can still, have like a steady job or something.
Which you'll enjoy at least.
Which you at least enjoy doing it,
Correct.
So that's how fashion happened.
Yeah.
I pursued it, and then I got my job also, and that's how I spent a lot of time in fashion industry.
Right.
But yeah, still.
But that bug of that I want to actually do something in what I truly love was always there.
Absolutely, always. It was always there at the back of my head.
And was that love for Zumba or something else?
So I'll tell you, that love was actually for fitness. It was not particularly for just one format,
Okay.
Once I remember I wanted to do yoga, and yoga, it was a group class format, and I happened to go in that class, and that is when we were informed by the reception that today the yoga instructor is not coming and she's fallen sick, and the class is going to be taken by a Zumba instructor.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, what is this? Like, I was so angry is the word, and pissed, because that was my day of stretching and working on flexibility, and suddenly it becomes like a Zumba class. I always initially looked down upon Zumba.
Okay, why is that?
Because I mean that was really so stupid of me to think that. Now I can actually acknowledge it. But see, when I was doing my regular workout, it was more about HIIT and pumping some weights and all that. So I used to think like this is hardcore. But when I would see people doing Zumba from the outside, I would see people dancing. So everyone is having just fun. So I was like, I mean, what is this? So I stayed back. I was like, okay, fine. But still, there was this whole overconfidence.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm better than this.
Yeah, I'm going to crush it. Like, I'm going to kill it. I mean, that was the thought in my head, because I always thought myself to be like this, fitness freak and, doing so many burpees and all of these together. So this will be like nothing. It will be like a cakewalk for me. And she starts. I'm looking at the watch and I'm like, it's just 15 minutes. I have to go on more for 45 minutes.
With the same level of enthu.
With the same intensity.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. And that is when my whole belief that, disbelief, I would say, about Zumba was completely shattered at that point of time. And I suddenly had this newfound respect for my Zumba instructor. I liked it so much that I kept coming again. So like in a week, I would go at least 2-3 times now.
Wow, okay.
So I altered my whole, regime around it, and then I included Zumba in that. And that's how I started falling for Zumba, and slowly I started becoming good at it and regular at it.
And this was how many years back?
4 years.
4 years.
4.5 years back.
Okay. And so for that first class, which you didn't even want to attend, to deciding from moving away from your corporate life entirely to do this full time, right? How many years was that, and what was that journey like?
So when I was taking the Zumba classes, I was still into my job, and so I was like a regular client, just enjoying Zumba session, becoming good at it. I was becoming good at my endurance and everything. When I was dancing, I knew, like, in my head that, this is something that I can also do, and I felt that I have it in me. And then I thought, yes, I should also become a Zumba instructor. And I remember I was still in my office, and one Facebook ad came somewhere saying that if you want to become a Zumba instructor, you can sign up here. And I was like, wow, I mean, I can also do that. Maybe let me give it a thought about it. And when I discussed this with my husband, and he said, I mean, well, if you think you're so confident, and if you think that you can do good in this, why not? Try it out.
Yeah.
And I remember the next day, I just signed up for a training.
Okay.
And that's how it was.
But then, taking that step that, I'm going to leave my big fat check.
Yes.
And get into something which is completely new to me, which is not even, maybe initially I'll have to struggle, all of that, right? How did you make that decision?
I'll actually continue from where I left. I said that, I signed up for a training and I became an instructor. But let me tell you, just getting a certificate is not enough. I mean, I remember after getting the certification done, it took me around 6 months to get my first class. So it's not easy. And so you have to constantly work on your playlist, and work on your moves, and you need to have some connection to be able to start. You need to shadow someone so that you become good, and all of that was there. This is the prepping part of getting the classes and all of that. But I remember once I got my first class, I was very excited about it, and I kept working hard after that. There was no stop after that. And I remember it was so exhausting physically for me, because I was doing my 9 to 5 corporate job. I'm just saying 9 to 5, but
it's never really 9 to 5.
It's never really 9 to 5, right? You're always working.
Yeah.
But then I was like, this is what I like doing, so I'm going to continue. This hustle is there, but just go on with it. It's okay. It's there for some time. And I kept building on some connections and having some good classes, and kept doing these events and classes so that, eventually I build up my portfolio there as well. I think 1.5 year went by like that, where I was doing both. My job also and Zumba also. But after that, once I had enough classes, then I thought that, maybe it's time for me to quit. And another reason, one of the compelling reasons why I quit, because I had already completed 10 years in my job. But, there was no fulfillment, this whole sense of fulfillment. You won't get that.
Yeah.
Like, when I come back home and, some days I would be like, is this what really I want to do?
Yeah.
I mean, am I meant to do this?
Correct.
At that point of time when I was quitting my job, I was 33. And I thought that, 32 and a half, yeah. I thought that, if I'm not doing it right now, the time is never coming again. So if I want to take that plunge, it has to be now. And then I remember one day I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to do this.
What has been the most challenging aspect of your journey so far?
I would say my challenges are still not over. I think I'm still going through them and I'm facing them. Still in the fitness industry, you are not able to make as much money as you can make in the corporate. I mean, that's the reality. That's the harsh reality. I mean, though we say that, I'm pursuing my passion and all, but still there is always an insecurity that, I don't know where my next paycheck is going to come from. I think the biggest challenge that I face right now is that I'm not able to spend time with my husband that much. And especially because, when he wakes up, I'm not there. When he comes back home, I'm not there. Because these are both the times when, my sessions are happening or something is happening. And weekends, I'm either busy meeting people, meeting new clients, or, going for some jam sessions or something like that. And weekends also, I'm not there. So I think this is one of the most painful things that I'm, going through right now.
What is for you? Everyone's measure of success is different, right? And that's the whole idea of Redefine as well, that every woman is different. Everyone's measure of success is different. Everyone's measure of happiness is different. What is that parameter of success that you would consider that I have become achieved something as a Zumba instructor? Yes.
Fitness has given me a lot actually. I feel mentally, physically, both I've become much more confident and I've become this stronger person. I've evolved to be a stronger person, and I feel, the way it has benefited me, I want it to be benefited to everyone. Everyone should benefit out of it. And I think I won't rest till the time, every single person in my country at least, benefit out of fitness. And I really feel that I should be able to make each and every person dance and be aware about their fitness. For them the health should come first, and till that time I don't think I'll consider myself successful. So that's my whole vision and my goal.
Fabulous. So on that note, Vijeta, all the very best to you for achieving that goal, and I hope the whole country gets fit through Zumba, through dancing, through a lot of fitness everywhere, and wish you the very best with it. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me and listening to my story. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please hit subscribe.